Okay, right. So, question 10. Show that x plus 1 times x plus 2 times x plus 3 can be written in the form ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, where a, b, c and d are positive integers. Alright, so have a go. See what you can come up with, and I'll come back in a second with a solution. Right then, so we are expanding these three brackets. We are timesing the three brackets together. Okay, and I'll talk you through the marks as we go through this. So the first mark is you're going to get the first mark just by multiplying two brackets together. All right, so let's pick these two, and let's have a go at multiplying these two out. So we're going to do in the usual way. We're going to expand these brackets. All right, so we're going to get this is the terms that come out. I'll show you how you get them. So x times x is going to give me the x squared, and we've got x times the 2, which is going to give me the 2x, and then we've got 1 times x, which gives me the x, and then 1 times the 2, which gives me the plus 2 at the back. So some people call it the crab claw. There's a grid method you can use, all sorts of ways to expand those, but you need those four terms with the correct signs. Okay, tidy this up. The 2x and the 1x, well, you can add those together to get 3x. So our final answer for the two brackets is x squared plus 3x plus 2. Alright, so you get 1 mark for doing two brackets. It doesn't have to be those two brackets, but it's just easier to do them in order, I think, so we don't get confused. So we've done two brackets. Now we need to bring in the third bracket, which we haven't done. So this one here, we're going to multiply this, and we're going to multiply it with our answer that we just wrote down. Okay, so let's set that up over here. Now there is a bit more going on here. We have to be a bit careful about what we're doing. Alright, I've seen this go horribly wrong, so we need some sort of structure and routine to make sure we don't miss out any of the terms. Alright, so I'm going to put the answers up, and I'm just going to show you how I would start to expand this, and I'll show you where each of these terms has come from. Alright, so I would always start by looking at the bracket with only two things in it, and I would start by timesing everything in the larger bracket by one of these two things. Alright, so let's start with the x. And I'm going to do x times the x squared first. So x times x squared is x cubed. And then I'm going to do x times the 3x. Okay, and it's going to give me 3x squared. And then I'm going to do x times the 2. Alright, so that's going to give me the 2x. So those three terms come from multiplying everything by x in that first bracket. And then we're just going to do the same thing with the 3. So we've got to do 3 times x squared, and that's going to give me 3x squared. Then we're going to do 3 times 3x. So sorry about my drawing here. 3 times 3x is 9x. That's that term there. And the last one is just 3 times the 2. All right, and that gives me the 6. All right, so it looks a bit messy, but you've just got to do it in an order so you don't miss any of them out. And you can just write them down as they come out. What I did was I was trying to write down things that I was going to add together next to each other. So when I come to do my final answer, it's a bit easier because I've got x cubed at the front. There's no other x cubed terms to add to that, so that just stays as x cubed. I've got two x squared terms here. I've got 3x squared and another 3x squared. So if I add those together, that's going to give me 6x squared here. The x terms, these two, 9x and 2x, this is going to become 11x, and I've just got the 6 on its own at the end. There's no other just numbers to add that to. So the final answer is x cubed. The 2x squared terms gave me 6x. The 2x terms gave me 11x. And the number on the end gave me 6. So you get the second mark for this method here, multiplying your final bracket with the previous answer. And then the final mark comes from collecting up all the correct terms and getting all the final answers correct. Okay, if you wanted to be really good, you could write down the values of a, b and c from the original question. So a is in front of the x cubed. Well, there's only one x cubed, isn't there? So that would be a 1. The b term is in front of the x squared. Well, we've got a 6 in front of our x squared here, so the b is a 6. What's in front of the x term? C value? Well, that would be 11. And what's the number on the end? Just the number on its own? Well, that is a 6. So D would be worth 6. All right. Hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea of how you would do that. And just to see how people got on, just above 20% got nothing. Didn't know how to start it. Couldn't even do 2 brackets. So it's good to know that if you just multiply out 2 brackets in the way that you're probably used to, that will get you 1 mark. And 2 marks for having a go at multiplying that answer with another bracket, the final bracket. If you get it all correct, make no mistakes, you get the full 3 marks, which only 50% of students manage to achieve on the exam.